Augusta here from the New Face of Finance. Today is my 16-week pregnancy video. I've come to terms with the fact that this is a geriatric pregnancy in the sense that I'm going to be 36 and a half years old when I give birth to my first child. But I thank God for the blessing nonetheless. So fortunately, I have come out of the period of heavy sickness and nausea. I was expecting it to happen around week 13, 14, but actually it went on till about week 15. But now, not so much nausea, tired, but not as exhausted as I used to be. The only thing that triggers any kind of sickness is like really pungent, stinky smells. So I can live with that for now. However, my symptom list has continued to grow. Prevalent symptoms over the last 4 weeks include swollen feet. It's not as bad as I'm sure it will get, but I can definitely see fatter ankles appearing. I'm starting to have a pregnancy walk, you know, when you lean slightly backwards as you walk because that's what's comfortable. And my bump is starting to show through baggy clothes. I was wearing a lot of loose fitting dresses and you couldn't really see anything, but the other day I had a look at my reflection while wearing a loose fitting dress and there was a bump there. So I embraced it week just gone by wearing some tight fitting clothes when I went to a distressed property viewing. Been suffering from bleeding gums just while I'm brushing my teeth. And last weekend I had a urine infection. Most of Sunday it felt like my pelvis was about to fall out of me. It was uncomfortable to sit, even it was even uncomfortable to lie down sometimes. So I didn't want to be dramatic and call 999, so I spoke to 111. They tried to get me out to see a doctor, but I literally just couldn't really do the walk. So I did speak to a doctor who was just like, look, you've got to come out and see us or call 999 to come take you to hospital. And I was like, look, this is painful, but I know based on the questions that they were asking me at 111, but that it's not really a massive emergency. One of the paramedics, I guess they are, that I spoke to suggested that maybe it's a urine or a bladder infection. And I remembered 7 years ago, I'd had a similar pain in that region. The only difference back then was it really hurt to pee and I couldn't sit down. And in this instance, it was just like even lying down was painful. So got through the night and then bought some cranberry juice and I drank 2 litres of cranberry juice and then it kind of pretty much went away. So I guess that's what it was. I'm not one of these people that are into like popping any medicine, going. I don't even like paracetamol. I mean, I did take some paracetamol on Sunday to kind of ease the pain, but that was like the first tablets of paracetamol I've taken in about 7 years. So it is what it is. I'm feeling better now. Back to my avoid medication rule. So obviously you'll remember me saying on the last video that when I went for my 12-week scan, baby was being super uncooperative and we couldn't really measure the neck. So they called me back in for a 16-week scan to test for a number. Well, to be honest, what they tested for was Down syndrome. The nurse that I had this time was Igbo guy, Nigerian guy, Igbo. I could tell he was Igbo because he asked me if I was Igbo and Igbo. So that was a giveaway. He was a really nice guy and basically said that everything looks okay. So they took the scan and some bloods, sent it off for some testing, and I received a letter yesterday saying that the risk of Down syndrome was quite low. It's not 100%, but it's quite low, so quite relieved. Another reoccurring theme that had been happening in my 3 sets of scans was that the nurses checking or people scanning always tell me that the baby looks smaller than I think it is. So according to the app that I downloaded, and obviously they base it on your last period, I am 17 weeks, but When I went to the doctors last week, they told me that I was sitting at 15 weeks, 3 days gestation. And at that point, the app was saying more like 16 weeks, 3 days. So if it's more accurate based on baby size and gestation, firstly, they have indicated that I have a expected date of delivery of the 13th of January, Capricorn baby. Quite happy about that. But more importantly, it seems that we conceived this child in South Africa, which is quite interesting. Maybe I should call it Cape Town. I'm not going to do that. We're really not going to do that. So I'm thinking more about my health, and I found myself being quite envious of vegans lately. So I've decided that although it's too massive a commitment for me, especially living with a man who loves meat, but what I am going to do is ease this lifestyle in. And what I've decided that on Wednesdays now, I'm going to eat vegan Wednesdays. The first Wednesday we did this was the one just gone, and I made a meal made up of aubergines, which I love, favourite veg, parsnips, sweet corn, and I used gluten-free noodles. It was okay. It's quite good. Nick didn't have any, but I quite enjoyed it, and I think that provided the ingredients are there, I think it's a commitment that I can make. I'm definitely going to try. It'd be way too hard to go cold turkey into veganism. So since I got pregnant, I've been having, I won't say skin issues. Generally, you know, my skin's been okay. Everyone's like, oh, you're glowing. But I have been growing quite thick, fast, coarse hair along my jawline. And it has made me feel insecure. Not that I didn't grow facial hair to some extent before. I think every woman knows what that feels like. But it wasn't so thick, it wasn't so coarse, and it wasn't growing so quickly. And I was just like trying to get rid of it, which meant that I ended up with some blemishes in that area. However, I came across dermaplanning the other day, and obviously most of the salons, well, most of the beauty salons and all that are closed right now. The great thing about that is that the internet is awash with beauty solutions that weren't as readily available pre-lockdown. And so I bought myself a dermaplaning stick and excavated the top layer of dead skin, and my skin absolutely radiant. Like, I felt really good about that. So I'm going to incorporate that now into my beauty regime, and hopefully that will have a long-term impact on my pregnancy skin. With regards to business, usual ups and downs, but generally moving in the right direction. I won't go through what's happening in all of the businesses right now because that's not really what this video is about. But what I will say is one of the things that I'm finding quite irritating and quite difficult is the fact that Kent Police keep knocking on the door and asking to speak to my husband. And usually this has got something to do with the neighbours. Now, we have a German couple that lives a couple of doors away, and they've just decided that they don't like us, they don't know what we've done, the renovations that we put in place. They don't see why we should be here. Now, personally, I think that this is racially motivated. I think that if we were a white couple, they wouldn't have this issue with us. I think largely the problem is because we're black. But most importantly, not just because we're black, I also think it's because my husband is quite stern. He's quite a strict kind of guy. He doesn't really take a lot of nonsense. We're not massively sociable. We've got lots to do. We've got family and friends all around the country, and would rather spend time communicating with them than people who have never really supported what we've been trying to do and achieve. So, you know, they'll come over here, they'll knock on the door, we'll explain what's happened, they'll take a statement, someone will be dealing with it, and really understand that we're really not the aggravators in this. We're just trying to run our businesses and have a nice life. And then some other police person will turn up to the door, and it's like, don't you guys talk to each other? It's massively frustrating. But it's just not going anywhere. That's the thing. I just don't know why they just keep doing it. I guess there's some kind of curiosity here. I had my car broken into in London about 2 years ago, and I called the police, and the police basically said, we don't come out anymore for car break-ins. Here's your crime reference number. But these people will just come and knock on your door over like absolute nonsense, some weird uncorroborated fact. We're sending them CCTV images of these people taking a mick right outside our properties. Why are they turning up on our door, knocking and saying that these alleged victims? It's quite irritating. But anyway, as I say, we must be doing something right if these people are massively obsessed with us to this day, and they don't work. And, you know, as they say, the devil makes work for idle hands, and I think that's just what this is really a case of. In any case, the next video I'll be doing for the pregnancy series is for 20 weeks. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and comment. If you have any questions, get in touch. I'll see you in the next video.